Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hello, Divas. You've just tuned into the Divas That Care Network. My name is Candace Gish, and I'm the host of this program. Well, thank you to each and every one of you that has tuned in for the very first time today. We're very excited to have you, and we're very excited to have all of our returning listeners. It's because of you that we continue to do this show weekly, and we are a bunch of committed women that interview others from around the world, and our goal is to make the world a better place. So our hashtag out there is Divas That Care. So let's get started. Well, my goodness, I'm really excited. Today I'm going to be having one of our diva hosts as my guest today. I had the opportunity to be speaking with her for the last year, and you know what, this lady is so amazing. I really want you guys all to get to know her. Laura Lee is an amazing diva, and that's why we asked her to join our Divas That Care network. And today she's going to be sharing your story so that you can all get to know her today. So we're going to be getting started. So Laura Lee, I am just so excited to have you as a guest today on my show.
Oh, Candace, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here and be part of the show. And wow, I feel really honored. So thank you for having me.
Oh, well, it's always great to be able to have our hosts on the show too, because a lot of us don't get to do that. And I always think it's fun because when we can talk to each other, you know, I think our listeners get to know you on a deeper level too. And I thought this would be a great show for this day. And you've got a lot of exciting things happening, so I wanted to put you in the spotlight to so that you could share with all of us today all the things that are happening.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. There is a lot happening.
There is.
Lots of transitions.
Lots of transitions happening for sure. So why don't we start off with, why don't you introduce yourself to all of the new listeners tuning in today?
Yes. Well, I'm Laura Lee Harrison. I am a single mother of a beautiful 3-year-old. He is my absolute joy and light and life. And to be honest, I feel like this is probably something a lot of people say, but he truly did save my life and really started me on the trajectory of where I'm going and what I'm doing. I am a makeup artist. I'm a special effects artist. I'm a skin therapist. I do a whole variety of things. I do energy healing. And I really love all of it. I love helping people. I love helping people in any way that I can, especially now that I have a renewed sense of life for myself and have been on the path that I've been on for a while. And it's really exciting to share with people what I do and the different avenues that I do it. I'm also a co-author of the Sacred Hearts Rising book, published 2 times now, so it's honestly still a little bit surreal. So lots of things to share with people and tell people that I do, and that's something I still work on a regular basis, is figuring out exactly how to share with people who I am and what I do and all that kind of stuff. So that's a little bit about me to start with.
I love it. And it is. You do so many things, and you have so many hats, and it's just wonderful to be able to chat with you about this today. I'm really excited because one of the things I definitely want to talk about today is the books that you are in, because I love this, and I know the publisher, and I know the person that compiled your books and put it together, and I just love it. So I want to share that with our listeners today, if we could do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted you, if you want to share a little bit about the first book and then talk about the newest one that's coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first book, Sacred Hearts Rising, Finding Your Wings, I believe is what the subtitle is called. No, sorry, Breaking the Silence, One Story at a Time. And Finding Your Wings, I believe, is number 2, the subtitle of that book. So they're both Sacred Hearts Rising. I believe there's 23 authors in book number 1, and probably around the same for book number 2. And it was a really really incredible experience to go through. I never personally thought I would write. I never had it on my in my vision. I never thought it would be something that I would do, let alone have it go international best-selling. And to be honest, the first book I didn't even tell people about. I was, I guess, afraid, a little bit ashamed. I'm not really sure what I was fully feeling, but it was terrifying to put my story out there the way that I did, not have control over who was going to read it. And it was absolutely terrifying. So I didn't tell people about it. I told very few people. A select few people knew. And then I woke up the morning in March that it was launched last year. We were number one in Canada already. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is a big deal. Oh my gosh. And I started sharing it, and people were like, what? You were in a book? You put your story in a book? Like, what's going on? And then from there, I had people, reach out to me and say they wanted to read it, people that I knew that I went to high school with. And that made me really nervous, and it really scared me because I only let people see what I wanted them to see. And so not even my family members actually know what I went through and what I've put in this book. And so it was quite the experience to put it out there and not have control over who was going to read it or see it and what they were going to think and all that kind of stuff. So there was a lot that went into book number one for me, for emotions and healing and re-traumatization and all sorts of stuff. Book number 2 was a completely different situation, and it was really, really incredible. It's not a good story that I'm speaking about necessarily, but it was a really beautiful experience to speak about it, and I found my creativity with writing, and it was really cool. So the books are absolutely incredible, and the healing that one gets from writing is amazing, but I did it to help others. I didn't do it for myself. I didn't do it to make money. Yeah, and so that's why I did it. I really had to be pushed to do it. But, that I put my story out there because I thought, even if I could help one person in one way, then it would be worth it.
Well, and I love the part that you've done 2 of them now, and it just shows your journey, because it's the first one that takes so much out of us, and then to get to the second part of the journey and how you're continuing and working towards, I really think that in itself is quite inspiring, and thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you, and you're welcome.
Well, and I know that our listeners are going to want to go and definitely pick that up because, I and the new one is coming out here in March, isn't it?
Yeah, March 21st it gets launched, and I think pre-orders are available right now.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's exciting. And we will be posting that on our Facebook page for all of our listeners, because I think that they're really going to want to read your story. And we're not going to be talking too much about your story today on the show because I think that having you on at a later date, Laura-Lee, would be inspiring and empowering when we do a segment about that. But I think that any of our listeners that are intrigued about that, I think they should definitely go pick up those 2 books. Pre-order the one and pick up the other one and read them so that they know what we're going to be talking about.
Yes, that would be amazing.
That'd be awesome. All right, so now let's dive into some other things that you're doing. You've mentioned earlier in the show that you are a makeup artist and you are a skin therapist, and you also are an online coach. And I really love this because you portray a lot of confidence, and a lot of people are kind of wondering, okay, well, she's done this story, and now she's doing this. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is what you do with the clients that you're working with your online coaching and your makeup? Because I think that the 2 of them together, they really work, and I want to know how you do that.
Yeah, so I really believe that there's space in the world for women to feel confident, whichever way that is. And so online, there's this big world of YouTube and Instagram and magazines, even TV and all that kind of stuff, where the people are done up. and it's not actually true. That's not. They're putting on a lot of makeup, and I know people go sit there on YouTube and try to do these things, and it's just, I hear a lot that it was an epic fail and things like that. They try to recreate what these people are doing. Well, there's a couple things happening. First and foremost, on YouTube videos, they're slicing them. You're not seeing all the steps. Half the time, as a makeup artist, I spent a lot of time in school doing makeup, a year, full-long program, and I can't even recreate half the time what they're doing because they're slicing it or because I just don't look like them. And so it's not realistic to think that we could jump on and go watch a video and recreate it completely. And so I want to bring it back to the basics for women and teach women how to make themselves feel confident putting on makeup, or maybe not putting on makeup and just using a really good skincare and knowing that they're doing it correctly. And, because there is a right way to exfoliate your skin, and there's wrong things to use that could really damage your skin, and it's just out there on the shelf. And so that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm really focusing on helping women feel empowered to use the tools that they have with their own space, with their own tools. You don't have to go out there and spend thousands of dollars on makeup and tools to get a look, a specific look. And so that's really what I want to do. And I want to help women feel confident if they're going to work for the day, or if they're going on a date, or if they're getting up on stage to speak in front of hundreds of people or 10 people. Because I think a lot of women don't feel confident with that. I hear it all the time. Oh, you should come do my face. Teach me how. I don't know how to do my eyebrows. I don't know how to do, the fancy stuff, the highlights, all that kind of stuff. And it's really, it doesn't even need to be that fancy. It doesn't need to be what you see on TV and or YouTube. It can be really quite simple as a brown matte eyeshadow. That's it. And, and that can do a lot of things. You can get a smoky eye, you can get a contour, and you can get your eyebrows done with one color. So that's what I'm really passionate about, is helping women feel confident in moving forward in their life in whichever way that is, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or someone on stage speaking or just going to work for the day.
I love that, Laura-Lee, because I think it is important, and a lot of people probably do feel that way. You're bombarded with social media, as you're saying, and when, especially with, entrepreneurs like ourselves, going to events, a lot of us, especially if we work at home, we don't necessarily dress up every day for work. We work from home and we do what we need to do through our computers, our phones, and unless we're on like a Skype or a Zoom, we probably don't feel like we need to be putting makeup on all the time. And sometimes we might lose track of that and not remember in a lot of ways how to do that all over again. And I think what you're offering and what you're going to be teaching ladies out there is wonderful, because building that confidence, because I think, we're confident in what we're doing, but sometimes when we're now necessarily have to do, like you're saying, speaking in front of somebody else, we want to look our best because we feel our best, but we want to look our best to portray how we're building our businesses and why we're building in that professional atmosphere. And I think that's a great thing what you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really great. I also want to change, I just wanted to add this in when you were speaking, I was thinking about this. I also want to change the thought process about makeup too, because there's a lot of people that are either all in and have to be full on out in 20 different shades of foundation and concealer on their face to do it right, which is cakey and it looks like a mask, and that's what people think about that, or they're just nothing. And there can be a really good in between. So I really want to teach people that it's not about hiding at all. It's not about putting on a mask. It's about really empowering yourselves in it. And I don't feel like there's a difference between going on and putting on a matching bra and underwear set that makes you feel really beautiful, really good. Nobody else is seeing that, but it makes you feel good. Or that pair of high heel shoes, or that necklace. It's the same thing. And so I really want people to see that and feel that. And again, I'm going to use that word confident. Feel confident about it, because I love that. There's room for it.
Well, and that's just, I love the way that you're saying it because that's perfect. And we want to teach our younger girls the same way, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And teach them how to put it on right. And I know I didn't know how to put it on right when I was in high school. And I still remember the blue eyeliner that was underneath my eyes where it shouldn't have been. And, you know, I think a lot of girls are looking for that as well. And now YouTube and Instagram is so accessible for them to jump on and try to copy something that's not realistic for them to do at their age or just not realistic at all.
Wow. So tell us about some of the online courses that you're coming up with to teach people.
Yeah, so I have some one-on-one courses where I can do that. I think there's also room for women that want to go on destination weddings that, you know, don't maybe want to hire someone there at the destination that they don't know, or they don't have the money to take a makeup artist with them. And so I want to teach them how to do it themselves, and then I'm available for them via Zoom, via video somehow to help them through in the morning if they need it. So that's one way. I believe I'm going to put something on like a little bit cheaper for maybe 5 girlfriends or 5 women to jump on and do it together and learn as a group. And then just maybe a few courses out there that are a little bit bigger, like a few weeks, that really dig into some different ways that you can utilize makeup for yourself. And then also there's a lot of women out there that jump into, you know, network marketing companies that are makeup or skincare, and they want to utilize social media, and they want to utilize the makeup, and they may not actually know what works for their skin. They may not feel confident with it. And so I'm really passionate about that. It's helping them, you know, learn how to feel confident to put it on social media and utilize it correctly, as I use social media myself a lot and for different things. And I've gone through a course for social media, a couple of them, which have been incredible. And so I would like to incorporate that to help them feel really good jumping on a live video, putting on their own makeup, and helping other people. Because, again, there's that aspect of just because you can do it, the person watching you can't or may not be able to, because skill and also because they don't look like you. They have a different face shape, different eye shape, so different skin color. So
I love that, those ideas.
Yeah, so that's what I'm working towards right now, to really get out there and be able to help people with those different types of things.
Well, I really think that these ladies are going to love that. You know, there's so many things that you do. I love that idea about you helping these women when they go away on their destination weddings. I think that's such a great idea, because you're right. When you're at a location, you don't necessarily know people in the area. And if you have somebody you've been working with, you know, doing it over a Zoom, what a great way to do that. And, oh, my goodness, I think what you're going to be able to do, too, is help so many of the young girls out there. It's funny because I talk to my teenage daughter, because I've got 4 daughters, and I always say these amazing women that I have the opportunity to interview, such like yourself, you know, I always tell my daughters afterwards, and I explain to them about the show and how they've inspired me, and they're always talking about, you know what, wouldn't it be great if you had somebody on your show that could teach us how to put on our makeup better? And I'm like, isn't that ironic that I have Laura Lee on today, that, you know, you putting on a course for teenage girls and teaching them how to do that. And I think what a great thing, because I know my daughters would be just all over that.
Writing it down as you speak. I'll get something together. It's definitely something I've thought about in person. You know, all these types of things I've definitely thought about in person, and I am actually working on some in person in Edmonton with a lovely lady named Gloria Bickham. She is a skin therapist as well, does skin work. And so we're actually going to team up together and put on some live events in Edmonton as well in the coming month. And so that's really exciting too, to expand even further into the in-person events as well as the online. And I was actually asked to do an event this weekend. I'm just not sure if it works with my schedule yet, which is going and teaching teens. So it's something that I would love to do, and I'm hoping I can make my schedule work to go and volunteer and help to do this. And it's teaching the teenage girls how to apply the makeup and feel good. So I think that would be great, and it's really in line. So it's interesting that you kind of brought that up today, too.
Oh, that's
the universe
awesome.
works in a beautiful way.
Doesn't it? Oh, well, and that kind of brings me to a question that I do have for you. Is there causes out there that are really important to you that you want to share with our listeners today?
I'm actually looking for some causes. I mean, I myself, the first chapter of the book that I wrote is the first book, the chapter that I wrote in it is about my past and the abuse I went through and all of that stuff for a few years with my my son's. I call him a co-creator, and so I feel very close to helping women with that. And so I am looking for some causes in the Edmonton area. I have actually been traveling for the last year. I haven't really had any roots settled anywhere specifically, and I'm still actually looking for that as well. But I think for now I'm going to stick around in Edmonton for a while. And so I believe the Wynn House is something that I resonate with. So that's one place I'm looking at doing some volunteering and getting involved with. And I'm not really sure what else there is out there right now. And so I'm looking for those things. So if someone has something, I would love to hear about it and maybe get involved, because it's something that's really important to me to give back, and something that I'm definitely branching into a little bit more. At this time, like I said, the Wynn House strikes resonation with me just because of the abuse part. I had a lot of support during my time of transition and moving through my issues and my going and getting counseling and stuff here in Edmonton. And so it's really important to me that I find a place to give back. And I really got a lot of my support from the city of Edmonton. And so I definitely want to give back in whichever way that I can to women that need that support, and hopefully give them some light that doesn't matter where they're in their journey. There's light, and whether they stay in their situation or they get out, you can move through that and move into better times in your life, and no matter what you're going through right now.
I love that, and that's why you're an inspiration. That's why you're a part of our Diva family, Loralee. You light up the room, and you're definitely an inspiration to all of our listeners today, but also the ones that have been on your program, and all the ones that have even read your story. So I want to really thank you so much for taking the time today to be on the show, and I hope you come back on, because there's a whole bunch of things that I think that we should be talking about. I
would love to. Anytime.
Anytime. Excellent. And oh my goodness, thank you to all of our amazing listeners. It's because of you that we continue to do this into our 9th year, and we're very excited. All of our shows are recorded on our Facebook page or on our website at divasthatcare.com. I'm going to be posting this show on all of our social media, so please take the show and send it to your friends and family. I hope that you're able to connect with Loralee. And Loralee, is there a way on social media that they can connect directly to you?
Yeah, absolutely. My Facebook is open, and it is just Loralee, Lauralee, space Lee. And then I also have my Facebook page, Laura-Lee Harrison. Sorry, I'm going through branding transitions right now, so it's kind of all over the place. And my Instagram is inspire_by_Laura. And so you can catch me on either of those, the 2 pages on Facebook or on my Instagram, and connect with me via those. My website is also www.inspirebylaura.ca.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Loralee. And
Thank you.
I hope that everybody had a great show. You really enjoyed it, and that you do something kind for somebody. That's, the most important thing out there is if you can do a random act of kindness for somebody else, we love that. And if you have that, share that story with us. We'd love to share it on our show. I hope that every one of you has a great day. And until next time, we will talk to you later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.